lesson, we're gonna talk about the photon concept and its application. And these are the list of words that you're going to hear throughout this lecture. So we have visible light, wavelength, spectrum, photon, light, Max Planck, frequency, energy, nanometer, and ultraviolet. After going through this module, you are expected to explain how photon theory accounts for photoelectric effect and atomic spectra, apply the wavelength frequency energy relationship in solving word problems, explain how photon concept can be used to explain photographic darkrooms, sunburns, and perception of colors.
Photon is a tiny particle that comprises waves of electromagnetic radiation. Photons have no charge, no resting mass, and travel at the speed of light. Another example of photons that radio waves and microwaves, infrared and ultraviolet light, X-rays and gamma rays, all of these are light and all of these are made up of photons.
Nature of light. The concept of light as quantized form of energy emerged in 90s when Max Planck postulated the black body radiation. This marks the beginning of quantum theory, which believed that energy comes in discrete units called quanta. So ano nga ba ang particle nature of light? Sinasabi na ang concept of light is quantized form of energy at nag-emerge daw siya noong 90s. At siya ay na-discover ni Max Planck na postulated the black body radiation. This marks the beginning of quantum theory. At pinaniniwalaan na ang energy daw ay comes in discrete units called quanta. Later on, Albert Einstein supported this idea of Planck and suggested that light is composed of tiny particles called proton, and each proton possessed energy. Later on daw, si Albert Einstein ay sinuportahan ang idea ni Planck at sinuggest niya na ang light ay composed of tiny particles na tinatawag nating photon, at lahat daw ng photon ay nagpo-possess ng energy. So, let's tackle the black body radiation. Ano nga ba ang black body radiation? A black body is a surface or object that is capable of absorbing all incoming radiation falling on it and reflects no radiation. Thus, appears black at room temperature. However, when exposed to certain amount of energy, the black radiates certain amount of energy and associated wavelength. So, ang example ng black body radiation is, kunwari, nasa madilim kang room. May hawak ka nga yung metal and may hawak kang lighter. Pinainitan mo yung metal and habang tumatagal, napapansin mo na nagkakameron siya ng red. Tapos habang tumatagal ng pagpapainit mo, nagiging orange siya hanggang sa maging yellow. Ngayon, pag hinawakan mo yung metal na yon, sobrang init. Kasi nag-a-absorb yung metal na yon ng mga radiation na nagpo-falling to it. And ngayon, kaya mo nakikita yung mga radiation na yon is kasi nasa madilim kang lugar. Yun yung example na black body radiation. We can infer that the nature of spectrum emitted by the black body is dependent on the temperature and not on the material the object is made of. So, sinasabi na ang black body daw ay dependent sa temperature at hindi dun sa mga material na nandun sa object na yon. This means that as the temperature increases, the average wavelength emitted decreases and radiation becomes invisible. On the other hand, as the temperature decreases, the wavelength increases and the radiation becomes visible as red to glowing white. So kapag daw tumaas ang temperature, ang average wavelength naman nito ay pababa. At yun naman, ang radiation nito ay magiging invisible. On the other hand, kapag bumaba daw ang temperature, tataas naman ngayon ang wavelength. At ang radiation ay magiging visible or makikita natin as red to glowing white. Ngayon, to explain the black body radiation, Planck came up with a equation to explain the distribution of wavelengths that are emitted from a heated black body. And it is given as energy equals Planck's constant times frequency. Example, calculate the energy of a photon with a frequency of 4.0 times 10 raised to the negative 14 Hz. Ang formula na given ay energy of radiation, E. Ngayon, equals Planck's constant na given na, which is 6.626 times 10 raised to the negative 34 joules per second. And ang frequency na given sa example is 4.0 times 10 raised to negative 14 Hz. Ngayon, para mahanap ang energy of radiation, ang gagawin natin is, ipagta-times natin yung Planck's constant na which is given na, at saka yung given dito sa formula na 4.0 times 10 raised to negative 14 Hz. Ngayon, pagkatapos nating i-times yon ang magiging sagot doon ay yun ang energy of radiation. The second one is the photoelectric effect. The photoelectric effect is a phenomenon in which electrons are emitted from a metal surface when it is composed to light. These emitted electrons are called photoelectrons. Albert Einstein is used to quantized energy idea of Planck to came up with the photon theory, which proposed that light is composed of photon. So, according to this theory, photon has the following characteristic. The first one is it has the velocity of light in free space. The velocity of light, c, is equals to 3 times 108 meter per second. The next one is it has the rest energy. The third is it has a zero mass. The fourth is it can carry energy and momentum. Next, when radiation is emitted or absorbed, it can be created or destroyed. Last one is it can interact with other particles like electrons. Using this photon theory, Einstein explained the phenomenon called photoelectric effect. In this phenomenon, when light strikes the metal surface, the electron would become excited and jump out in the metal. So, ito ang explanation ng photon theory ni Albert Einstein. So, kapag yung electromagnetic radiation ay tumama doon sa surface, metal surface, yung mga photoelectrons nagtitrigger. Ngayon, pag na-trigger sila at naging excited, tatalo naman ngayon yung photoelectrons doon sa metal surface. Yon ang photon theory ni Albert Einstein. This is because, according to Einstein, light is composed of packet of energy called photon, which transfer energy to the electron, causing to it to become excited. The third is atomic spectra. The set of frequencies of electromagnetic spectra emitted by excited atom is referred to as the atomic emission spectra. Every element emits a specific energy and wavelength, producing a unique set of bonding pattern. Thus, we can say that atomic spectra serve as fingerprints of every element. Atomic spectra. The figure below shows the emission spectra of an electrically excited hydrogen atom. The fine lines corresponds to the emitted light with a specific wavelength, while the dark bands in between corresponding to the absorbed frequencies. Kung nakikita nyo dyan sa picture, nandyan yung mga fine lines na corresponding to the emitted light na specific sa wavelength. At yung mga dark bands na between sa corresponds to the absorbed frequency. Sila naman yung mga nagko-corresponds para ay absorb yung mga frequency.
nalaman natin ng photon theory, let's talk about the practical application of photon theory. First, we got the question, why is red light commonly used in dark room? Are you guys familiar with these pictures? Yes, you're right. They're doing photographic print. It is an image formed on paper or other sensitive material. So let's talk about the question, why is red light commonly used in dark room? Hindi ba pwedeng green light? Hindi ba pwedeng blue or violet? So as you can see sa figure natin, red light is in the region of the visible light with the longest wavelength. So merong 620 to 780 nanometer. And it has low frequency. At kapag low frequency, it has low energy. Kaya naman po kino-consider natin ang red light as the safe light. At ideally po siya gamitin sa mga photographic dark rooms, katulad na lamang ng halimbawa na naipakita ko. Karagdagan lamang po, dahil po ang photosensitive materials na ginagamit sa printing ay hindi photosensitive sa color na red or sa light na red. Kaya naman po hindi ito nagkakos ng fogging at dark veil na sinasabi sa prints ng photos. Okay, let's talk about the question. Letter P. Why do people get easily sunburned by ultraviolet or UV but not visible light? It is because UV light has short wavelength and higher frequency than visible light. At makikita po natin sa ating figure na dito nakapwesto ang ultraviolet and dito naman ang visible light. Napaka self-explanatory naman kasi although magkatabi ang ultraviolet and visible light, mas maliit ang wavelength ng ultraviolet kaysa sa visible light. At kapag nga mas maliit ang wavelength or short wavelength, ito po ay nagkakaroon ng mataas na frequency. Kaya naman, once na napahaba yung exposure ng katawan nating mga tao o yung skin natin sa UV light, ay mas madali pong magkaroon ng sunburned or even the skin cancer. Okay, let's talk about the question letter C. How do human eyes perceive colors? So, human eyes can perceive colors because of our cone cells. There are 3 different cone cells na present sa ating retina ng mga mata natin. And each contains photosensitive pigment to certain wavelength. So, ano-ano yon? So, the L cone is photosensitive to red and it has long wavelength. The M cone is photosensitive to green and it has middle wavelength. And the S cone is photosensitive to blue and it has short wavelength. However, the sensitivity ranges of these 3 cones sometimes overlap, especially when the light that stimulate them are near the middle of the visible light. At makikita po natin ang ibig kong sabihin sa figure na to. So, the question is, suppose a 550 nanometer wavelength of light enters our eye. What color do you think will you perceive? Kapag ang hula nyo ay kulay green, tama po kayo. Pero other people will think na ito po ay hindi na siya green or kung tinatawag natin na yellow-green na. Kasi 530 yung pinaka-green or 500 pa nga. Pero it because kapag po tumingin tayo sa ating figure, mas nag-i-stimulate po ng green receptor at mas malakas po na maa-adapt ng ating mga mata kaysa po sa red receptor. Kaya naman po ang ating maperperceive na color ay kulay green. However, when a light with a 580 nanometers wavelength enters our eye, both the red and green receptors will be strongly stimulated. Hindi na po siya makukuha ng isa pang color, kundi parehas na po ang red and green at magsasama po sila at ang kulay pong or color ng light na ating makikita ay color yellow. At ito po ay base sa figure na to, which is the additive color mixing with red, green, and blue additive primary colors.
I've got 3 flashlights here, a blue one, a green one, and a red one. And as you can see, when their beams all combine, you get white light. And if you take a piece of paper with a slit in it and you block those beams, you can decompose that white light back into its constituent parts, red, green, and blue. Now this is something really cool. If you take something that casts a shadow, it's actually going to cast three: a cyan, a magenta, and a yellow shadow. And if I allow each of those shadows to pass over the slit, you're going to see that they block out only their complementary color.